Hello. Hope everyone's doing well today. Drinking a drink out of my red party cup. All right, let's kind of go over some stuff. Been working on this on and off in the time that I've had available. And this is going to be a smaller stream. Like, I gotta be up and out by 5:15. Gives me just about an hour. Alright, so yeah, let me let's get rid of some stuff here. Selection tool, clear. Alright, so the new mod flow. I've been working on things here. Came up with a new kind of cap system here, so the caps are going to be different depending on, you know, what you're going to be using here. I added a lot more kinds of enchanted stone. I brought the chiseled in. My Minecraft roots had to show through. Got a way to make our crystals. These are all of the wands that will be available for people. We have the Arcanus, which has a new shape. And then when we're branching out, we have a new block here called Zeganite, which I actually really like the look of it. I brought back the mana torches. Still works. And of course the mana lanterns. I changed the netherite. It is now kind of a purpley obsidian kind of texture. You know, when I'm looking at this and I'm like, it would be cool to have like the skulled cobblestone as a variant. But we'll see. We will see. The rituals are working to turn these, so I got the ritual of corruption in, and I got the ritual of purification in, which was nice. We have our abyssal reagent compound, and I got bloodstone in right now, which I think bloodstone came out pretty cool. And of course, over here for the light stuff, we have our celestial prism. We have all the variants of astrolith, including the new astrolith stone. These are the prismatic reagents, and this is how you would make some of the stuff in the future. And then we got moonstone in, which I think the moonstone came out pretty awesome. Vexus! Fun fact, vice means dirty/filthy in Dutch. How you doing tonight? Really, it does? I'm dirty. I'm doing alright, Nanotech. How you doing? Thanks for that resub. Nice. A 4-month streak. How you doing, Vexus? I'm going over all the new blocks and fun stuff. I've just been kind of adding things, toying around with some ideas, like the Spellforge. Right? How is that gonna work? I'm getting rid of the system where you like eat a scroll and you could permanently learn a spell. I'm getting rid of that altogether, and it's definitely going to be all through the Spellforge. But I'm not sure if I'm going to make it like a multi-block structure. I actually, today, I was thinking of this, and I thought, why don't I make it to where you could make one of 3 types of grimoires in the beginning? Right? You can make a, you know, like the regular neutral grimoire, a light grimoire, and a dark grimoire. And then you could use those in here, right? So it doesn't have to be like a crazy advanced system. Because like I was thinking like, okay, this should probably connect to, you know, an essence generator, and you can do all this extra stuff. Like, I don't think I need to do anything like that. I don't think this really needs to be a multi-block structure to like help with anything. Basically, you would put the valid book in here, and then you would like sit and meditate and stare at it. And then from there, having that book already there, you already spent all the essence to get it, right? Depending on the potency of the book and your random chance, that's when you can get like a failure, you know? Boop. What is it, snowing? It's December. Oh gosh. I'd take that Spellforge and change that appearance to look like big fingers. Big fingers coming out, kind of like a Beetlejuice. Doing good. Just made myself some ham sandwiches. I would love a sandwich. I've been hungry. And I think I'm hungry for like a sub or something hearty, like a stew, like a beef stew. Yeah, you did come at a good time. I've been toying with a couple ideas here. You know, it's like for this, right? I could have runestones, but I don't want like one set of runestones for everything. And then I started thinking, well, each one, right? This is darkness. Like, sure, everything can use like the enchanted stone, like the chiseled at first. But I was even questioning some of the ideas here, like why not use like court glass, you know, for the caps here, right? Why not use like obsidian? But then I was thinking, like, for the obsidian, you really don't find obsidian rock anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, this could be hard to find, so you may never use the tier 1 caps, right? You may just go right into, like, whatever the tier 2 is. So I've been trying to, like, think how I want this to look. I know I definitely want bloodstone caps for the final Devouring Void tier. I want the Moonstone caps to be your final tier for the Celestial Prism. I'm not sure. This is the Eldrathrium. I'm not sure if I need a final tier for this one. I don't know. I was thinking of doing like 4 tiers, and like this would be the hidden block. You know what I mean? Like if you put Bloodstone caps on top, it really, like, you know, puts it over the top. Because Bloodstone's going to be hard to come by. You'll be getting those through sacrifices, like stealing the souls. Right, so it'd be something like this, right? Then this would be, you know, like whatever the shared tier 1, 2, 3 is. I don't know, it's tough. Like I've been trying to kind of reason out everything. Really depends. Sometimes got in a good bit an area, sometimes not at all. Yeah, I made some nice beefy stew. I want some stew. It's sad because it's one of my favorite foods, and I rarely have it. It's so rare that I have it. And you know why? It's because, like, I'll taste a stew, you know, like if someone else makes it, and I'm like, it's not as hearty as I'd like it to be. You know, I'm like, there's an awful lot of carrot and celery in this. Where's the meat? Usually make it every other week. That sounds nice. Nice and comes. Yeah, celery. Yep. Yep, celery and beef stew. And I don't mind celery and beef stew, but you know, you gotta like break it, you know what I mean? Like on the you know, like from the top to like the rib side, and then pull out all the strings if you can, or else you're just gonna get all those strings in your teeth. Ground mince, ground beef, carrots, potatoes, whole and diced tomatoes, onions. That's what I do. Yeah. Yeah, so I've just been kind of making things. Like today I decided to you know, like I said, change all the textures here, because it was weird. I knew I wanted Bloodstone to be like a final tier, but I did not, you know, like this was already red. Oh, you know what? I bet I have to change the GUI. Yeah, I still have to change it. Don't want things hanging off my teeth. Yeah, right? Me either. So I think it's coming together. Like, the piecing out the mod like this has helped a lot. Because it's making me ask those kind of complex questions, right? Like what do I do for caps? Like, if I feel like people are used to runestone, and then I had the 4 tiers, right? Lesser, greater, and they all were like a unique color. Runestone wouldn't be a bad idea to go with like a tier 1, 2, 3 runestone, right? That's like a universal thing. But I would also like to be, you know, there's the other side of me that's like, well, make it unique, right? You know, like instead of everything taking like the enchanted stone or whatever the tier 1 runestone is, why not have it be like quartz glass, right? Why not use like a block of gold, you know, like over here, right? You know, like items that are like found in the game, so everything doesn't feel so disjointed, I guess is the best way to put it. I've been going back and forth because because I have to think, like, right, like whatever the caps are here, it would have to translate to like if I made the spell forge the old way, right? You know, so you place it down, and then you would have to have, right, you know, like in the old version I had the pillars, and then you had the caps on top, and then that would dictate, you know, like how quick it ran, right? You know, so if I do anything like this, my caps are all over the place over here. It's going to be very confusing for people. And also, what am I going to do with the Oculus? Right? Because you had caps, and then those caps, you know, would allow you to create certain grimoires. So, do I just not have grimoires? You know what I mean? Like, how do I deal with those, you know, if I have unique caps? It's tough. It's tough. And the more I think of it, the more I think I should probably just, like, get rid of all of this. You know, save these as, like, you know, like, you could still build with these, but these wouldn't be the caps. And then I can keep these as, like, you know, the secret tiers, right? Like, if you can get a hold of enough bloodstone to do this, it really, like, supercharges your Devouring Void. Maybe it could destroy multiple creatures at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, some kind of bonus perk. Because you're gonna have to be really far in Magic to get it. Get rid of all of this. Boop. And then for the Moonstone, I'm thinking instead of generating essence during the day, it would generate essence at night, you know, to go along with lunar magic. And then it would generate, like, a lot of essence. The caps are going to be a lot higher than 1,000, I think. I just haven't, you know, tuned that in, but... The more I'm thinking of it, the more this would make sense, right? To have different runestones. Now, I have to think, what materials would I use for the runestone, right? Because basically, Magic has 3 trees. So maybe the basic runestone, it would have to be a little past this. Right? Like, it's got to be a little past the obelisk. Because I don't want you to get, you know, because you're already going to be able to do the runes around it for the upgrade. So I don't want you to have, like, an upgrade and then a secondary upgrade immediately, if I could help it. Because this is a milestone. Like, once you have an obelisk, that's kind of like tier 2. You know, like, you're going to have, like, a bunch of wands and everything. You're going to be able to hop into this. And then everything, you know, you got to kind of pick a path to focus, right? And I still got to figure out the classes, right? Am I going to have it to where you attune to a specific element and become like an earth mage or a frost mage or arcane mage, whatever? Or do I have you tuned to a certain essence type, and then if you're like a warlock, right, then you gain the attunement to wind, frost, and arcane, right? If you are, you know, light, you know, you attune as a cleric or whatever I name it, right? You're going to have fire, lightning, and nature. You know, then neutral's going to have water and earth, but they'll have, like, enhanced mana regen. You know what I mean? Like, do I do something like that? Or do I, you know what I mean? Like, these are questions that I need answers to so I can start building those systems. It's definitely a lot to think about. It's a lot, because, like, I had it to where, in my head, to where, well, if I do 3 classes, I mean, do I just get rid of, like, or do I enhance Rust Mage, and maybe the middle's Rust Mage, and this is a Warlock, and this is a Priest, or, you know what I mean? Like, whatever I refer to this as. You know what I mean? Like, whatever the class names are. Should they be classes like that? Or should I have them be a secondary class? You know, so, like, you can attune, but I could be, like, a Tinkerer, or, you know what or not a Tinkerer, but, you know, like a Hunter or a Commoner, right? Whatever the main Vintage Story class is. Even a Rust Mage. And then it would be, like, a further, like, secondary class. I'm kind of thinking the secondary class would be better. That way, if you do want to use, like, other mods, like if you want, like, the Blacksmith, right, from, like, one of the mods that gives you more classes, or a Mason, or whatever, right, you could still have that fun gameplay, and then this could be a reward for, like, going down a certain path, right? So, like, if you are, you know, if you become a, you know, whatever I name this, right? Like, whatever the middle class is, maybe you gain an enhancement to grimoire creation. Maybe you can have a chance of making grimoires that are of higher quality than someone else, right? Maybe from the dark side, maybe, you know, you can gain a benefit from being close to a devouring void that's active, and that gives you passive mana regen. Right, and maybe you're better at, like, the soul well system that I'll put in, you know, and, like, harvesting soul stones, you know? And then, of course, the light, you know, you would be good with, you know, and all of them, you would be good with those elements, right? But maybe your sigils that you make, right? You can make better, more specific sigils that last longer. I don't know. A lot of questions, and that's kind of why I live stream, right? Because I'm sitting here, like, I'm thinking about it, and I need some answers, you know? And I don't have them, but I may be too close. Maybe way too close. December already. You know what? Let's get rid of December. February, March. There we go. Yeah, I get you. Yeah. Yeah, I changed it. It was starting to look gloomy. It's starting to look a little gloomy. Overall, though, I am definitely happy with, like, the amount of building blocks that are going to be available. So you can really, like, fine-tune, you know, like, what you want to build your stuff out of. Yeah. It's been a labor of love. Labor of love. And a lot of this stuff is in. I need to... Oh, I Nanotech, I don't know if you're still there. I figured it out, my friend. I know how I wanted to do everything. So let's pull up Enchanted Stone. Look at that. We got Enchanted Stone recipe in here. And you cannot create it on your person. I was sitting there and I was going to start to go through the code and I'm like, wait a minute, am I being dumb? You know, I gotta stop myself. Am I rabbit holing myself? Is this the best use of my time? And then it hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm like, wait a minute. So this is how I came up with it. I have two recipes. They're the same recipe. And it's so simple, but I am so proud of myself with this. So I just created in Grid, I created a cannot craft folder. And I have a duplicate of everything in there, and then I attach a dead required trait to it. Right? And then in my main folder, you know, I have pretty much everything replicated there. I just get rid of that required trait. Right, because to use this, you have to be a magician anyways. So, it will display everything in here, but I also put the thing requires the unlocked magic trait. So I localize it. I put another thing created by Thaumic Workbench only. solves all my problems. I don't have to worry about anything else. And this right here, this created, you know, that's just extra credit, right? You know, like, I think that together can tell people this is how you make it. So freaking proud of myself because I saved myself so much time. It was, it made me smile. And it's funny because like that, my last stream when I stopped, that night, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get on, I'm gonna just pop on some music or watch like The Office or something, and I'm gonna dig into that code, and then I'm thinking, whoa, wait. Just because I can redesign a wheel doesn't mean I should. So yeah. It was fantastic. Lovely. Although, you know, it does kind of suck because I have to have like 2 recipes, so I have to remember if I change it in the one, I gotta change it in the other. But that's a small, very small price to pay. I still gotta put in recipes for all this stuff to make them craftable. But I've been adding the items back in here. So this is kind of like what we're looking at with the, you know, the items that are in the mod as of now. I still need to come up with a way, like I need, I think, a 3rd catalyst to be able to really make this good stuff. And what I'm thinking is, from like Soul Magic, I think it may be more Necromancer than anything. I'll try to stay away from like the Necromancer stuff, you know, and like not lean into it as much, but you will be getting some resources from the creatures that you can sacrifice. You'll be getting soul stones, bloodstone. The bloodstones are going to be useful because that's how you'll make your health recovery potions and use that kind of health system. And of course, on the other side, right, when you're dealing with like the moonstone and the sigils and stuff, you will be able to use I think I'll call it mana drip to create mana potions. I've not been so lucky. Got some problems evolving textures, OBS, resizing the game window, and game crashes in that order. Oh, man. You know, it's funny you mention that for, like, resizing the game. I get that crash, too. It kind of sucks. Like, if I were to, like, maximize this, it would crash the game. Is it a feature? Maybe. That sucks, man. That sucks. But yeah, so I think I'm going to... Yeah, I don't think it's... Watch this, watch this. What is this? Yeah. So... Oh. Game window. Let's close it back out. Although if I'm not in a world, I can resize it all I want. But if I hop into a world, then I can't. That's the error, dude. Thanks. Okay, good. You know, because I was thinking, I'm like, is it me? Is it me doing that? For the textures, I don't think I have, like, I'm not sure what your texture problems are. But yeah, who knows? I mean, it could be similar things, you know, and we're all experiencing. But hey, I gotta say, the new update, like, I'm looking forward to those damn boats. I was looking at that, I'm like, alright, I feel like this is finally an update I can be excited about. Alright! My animated textures mod, which I thought was causing the issue. Oh, okay. So it is not a feature, it is a bug. Got it. Yeah. trying to think if there's anything else. Like, I've been trying to put, like, what the recipes are in here as a reference for myself. This world has become really important. I'm so happy that I'm actually using rot. I gotta use more rot, I think. I think I'll be using rot a little more over here for, like, the abyssal reagent. Maybe, you know, I'm gonna put a little rot in here. I'll do something like that. I kind of want to use bone as well. See, I gotta stop, right? Wait. I'm gonna put it in here, but I don't know. Because that's kind of starting to get towards the necromancer again. I gotta slow my roll. So yeah, I'm thinking in the new, like, I was trying to think how magic, like the grimoires and everything should work. The more I thought about it, because my first thought was, well, I can piece out like all the different spells into like components, and then allow you to mix and match. That's going to require balancing. You know, like the mana cost for, you know, like the potency, the mana cost to, like, you know, to make a spell that shoots a fireball and casts run speed on yourself. You know what I mean? And then that kind of system I don't think works with like how I have the magic system, how I have the grimoires, how you cast the spells right in the sanctum, and it doesn't, I feel like it doesn't work well. So I think with this, it doesn't have to be a multi-block structure. For now, it doesn't have to be a multi-block structure. The original plan was you would be able to link your essence generator to the Spellforge, and your Spellforge would... I'm trying to think of the best way to... Like, it would like change its skin, right? And then it would use a burst of that essence to try to create a spell cipher. Right? You know, like the spell cipher of fly or whatever. I don't think it needs to be that complex. I think I can have it to where, you know, you just have to create the right reagents, right? Put in the right paper, put in, you know, whatever it is to make like your light enchanted parchment, like blank parchment, like whatever I call it, right? Like your first page in your grimoire. Or maybe it could be a whole grimoire, I'm not even sure. Right, and then because it's a light grimoire of a certain level, then you would come into here, right, open it up, put it in, and then it would start to, you know, you would sit, meditate, and then start to stare at it, and that's when it would start lowering your temporal stability after so many seconds, and then bam, right, it hits you with a big chunk of stability loss. You have a chance of critically failing, of course, but you would get your you know, like you would potentially be able to learn, you know, like a run speed or, you know, whatever it is. And then you would take that cipher like you normally would, throw it into your Oculus, and then from there, I want you to be able to put upgrades in to like make a better version of that spell. But I don't want people to learn permanently, you know, each spell anymore. Because as soon as you get one person that learns like the run speed, they can just mass produce ciphers really easily, hand them out like candy, and, you know, everyone's got it. I want to make it to where durability matters, so scarcity on the spells, right? Like, you get a good spell. That being said, like, if I'm not making it a multi-block structure, I don't know why I started breaking it. I kind of want to keep that. So here. So if I don't make it a multi-block structure, I think there'll be like different kinds of blocks that you can get from, you know, doing like whatever this, you know, whatever the research will be for here, you know, whatever you do through the soul well. Or maybe you could even scribe, like maybe I can have it to where like if you learn like the run speed spell, you could maybe sacrifice that run speed spell to create like a block, like an altar block or something that you could place down near your Spellforge. And then I can do a check to see like, oh yeah, you put like the sigil of, you know, run speed 1 down. okay, so now instead of, you know, having a 0.07% chance, right, of getting that exact spell, you just upped it to, you know, find a run speed spell by like 25%. So it will weigh that first out by 25%, and then if you fail that, it will give you like whatever the random is, right? So you can start kind of, you know, placing different things around your Spellforge to increase the probability, the chance of you actually discovering a certain kind of spell. That's something that I really liked from ViesCraft, right? Because they have research, and then depending on what blocks were like around, like if you had that cauldron, right, you would have the chance of getting that research that the cauldron would provide to get more, you know, like whatever the fundamental of essence, or you know what I mean, like whatever that was. So that's my thought. I was thinking of maybe making it like a reusable block, and then you can put like the parchment in there or something, and like, or you could imbue it, you know, maybe with a, I don't know, not with ritual, but with something. I think it would be cool. You know, and then after like, you know, 3 uses of like successfully making that same spell, it would go like inert, and it wouldn't be like enchanted with like run speed anymore. So then you could, you know, you could put that cipher back in to try and learn more, or you know what I mean, like have some way of like, you know, where you could kind of let it ride. I don't know. Am I a little too crazy with that? Does that not sound like fun? Little RNG in the mix. Although I'm thinking about it, I probably should have, like, if I have the rune stones over here, like the basic, the advanced, and the mastercraft, or whatever I named the rune stones, that would kind of help, because like I don't want an entry-level player to learn the fly spell by chance, you know what I mean? So I have to have some kind of tier, so maybe it would be a multi-block structure. Maybe I could kick out the bottom plate and then have it to where like you have to put a runestone down, and then you got to set this on top of it, right? So it would be like runestone and then that, and that way you could see the runestone from the bottom. And then that runestone would dictate, yeah, you could learn like tier 1 spells, you know? Yeah, praying to RNGesus could be pretty fun, as long as it's not too tedious. And that's the thing, right? That's why I would want to put the system in, to be able to place things down around that would influence your RNG. Right? So if I got that run speed buff, and I put down the... I mean, do we even have like a statue of some kind? What is that? Here we go. Right, you know what I mean? So you put something down around it. Like, it doesn't have to be that close. Here we go. We'll do that. Right? So just because that is in the area, you know, you will have an increased chance of finding a buff spell, for instance, right? It could be generic like that, or maybe this could be like an attack spell of some kind, right? And then maybe if you put the Dark Grimoire in, then you're locking into dark traits, so you would learn, ideally, you know, either a frost, a wind, or an arcane, you know, attack spell. So it could be the AoE, it could be the projectile, you know what I mean? But depending on what you put down, you would have a higher chance of finding the specific spells that you want. This is actually pretty damn cool. I didn't even know this was a thing. Oh, and then you place a torch or something, but the bird doesn't like torches, so the buff to that RNG decreases. And I could get complex like that, too. I absolutely could. Maybe it's something like, maybe say this is like a wolf, right? And I have it for run speed. You know, or you know, whatever the block is. It may not actually be a wolf, right? But whatever the block is, and it wants to find the run speed spell. But I put in a dark grimoire. Well, you can't. Run speed's not that. Run speed is found as a buff on the light side, right? So those two things are not gonna like each other. So the grimoire would probably take priority, and this wouldn't even be used. You know, and I can put an indicator like on mouse over where it can say like I don't know, nearby whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah, speed, agility, bear strength. Well, I mean, we're kind of focusing on the animal side of this. Honestly, I don't think they're going to be animals. Because, like, I mean, what do I do for the Tinkerer buff? What do I do for, you know what I mean? Like, the buff where you aren't as hungry anymore, right? I'm not sure there's gonna be a lot of animals, and remember, I'll have to have you find these animals too and be able to craft them. But I was thinking, you know, maybe like a sigil, or you know what I mean? Like maybe it could be an altar of some kind. I don't know. I kind of want to use some base blocks, like base game blocks as well. I was looking at some of the clutter over here. Oops. There we go. So I was kind of looking at some of the clutter and being like, you know, that'd be kind of cool. Like the gravestone, right? Like if you put a gravestone nearby, maybe you'd have a higher chance of like corpse explosion, you know, or summon corpse, or you know what I mean? One of those like dark kind of spells. Imagine lead blocks equals 1000% sink speed in water spell. Right? You know, like pile of bones. Like I want to give some kind of meaning to these kind of things here. Spiderweb. Oh yeah. So I mean, you know, I don't know if I'm going off the deep end here. I think it's a better system than just eating scrolls and then permanently learning a spell. And then be able to, like, indefinitely mass-produce that spell and give it to everyone else, because you can create as many spell ciphers as you want. Like, it costs you 1 runic parchment in the current, build, which you get pretty easily, you know? And then you can make the fly spell or the revive spell or, you know, like anything like that. I think that way worked before, but I have a chance to like evolve it. And I think being able to like sit and meditate and stare at this and having it slowly lower your temporal stability to that magic point, and then you start to like focus in, right? Because I want to put the not the Eye of Sauron specifically, but I want to put a shader effect in here when it's ready. So you're like staring at it, like peering through the void. I think it's a neat idea. Maybe I can have like something in the tooltip up top where it says influenced by, or maybe it says something like increased probability chance for, you know, it'll be like run speed and blah blah blah, right? You know, and it has all that stuff. I would definitely have to batch spells though. I was thinking making something basic for like buffs, attack, enchantment, and maybe one other. I'm not sure. Maybe it could just be those 3. Maybe it could just be those 3 to start off with. I don't know. Maybe. Pig for hunger. There we go. It increases your hunger. Ah, delicious. Let's make it daytime. Exactly, yep. That's perfect. It'll be the first debuff to your spell creation. So I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think this would be fun? Should I stick with the runic scrolls, just eating a runic scroll and learning a recipe forever? Should a runic scroll just unravel into a spell cipher? Is this superfluous right now? Am I making it too detailed? I don't think I am. I think this would be like a fun system in itself, right? Spell discovery. And it wouldn't be a spell discovery that lasts for like a day or two of your gameplay, and then it's done permanently, and you don't have to discover anything else because you know every spell in the game, right? I'd have to think more about it for giving proper answers. That's fair. That's fair. Because, like, and the reason why I'm thinking about this is because I don't want to gut this first. You know what I mean? Quixote coming in with the raid. Let's see. Let's do a shout out for Quickstroll. remember when you spelled out your name for me and I said it right, and then you said your name, I'm like, Quickstroll. I totally missed it. You're doing some game development. Nice. Very nice. Making some progress. Welcome in, welcome in. We are just going over the magic mod changes right now. Trying to brainstorm here. I think I have decided to have runestones, like specific runestones for each one. So let's go ahead and re-enable runestones. Runestone. We are going to set this to true. I will do a basic, advanced, and let's do like master craft. So it's not going to have any texture yet, but that's fine. Reload. I am slowly making progress. Bashing my head on signals. Oh, that's interesting. Signals. Are you talking about like a trigger, like an event trigger? There we go. Now we should have our makeshift. Wait a minute. Where'd our basic go? Help! Oh, basic has a texture. Ha. Lame. So that would be the Mastercraft, right? So I can at least put these down. And I'll figure out what these should look like later. So this would be like the tier 3, the quote-unquote best. And then like the Moonstone would be the hidden, like even better. It's probably similar. Be right back, need some food. Sounds good. Did I do that already? Yeah. I feel better with this. I think it will confuse people less. I mean, it's a neat idea to have like unique blocks for each type. I also think that that charm would be lost to a lot of people. I think a lot of people would not like that, because then they're like, it's already complex, Vice. Hey, Dirt, it's already complex. Oh man. I think I like that. Not too shabby. So I guess thinking about that, let's go back over to the Spellforge. So maybe the Spellforge should be just a block in itself. And like I said, right, depending on what you place around it. And maybe the cipher, the enchanted cipher that you put into it, That, or maybe it should just be a grimoire. I don't know. I don't know. Kind of like the idea of, you know, I want you to be able to create something. You know, like whatever that looks like here, blah blah blah, right? And then you create an item, and then you can like, you could put it down here as a catalyst, and it would take like a bunch of resources to like enhance it or enchant it, and maybe that enchanted one would have like a, I don't know, better stats maybe. And then you could come back over here. This item is beyond your comprehension. I gotta gut the old system. There are no more player magic tiers. It's gone. Poof. Oh, I won't be able to do what I wanted to do over here. For the meditation. All these like clutter blocks. So in the block behavior, I am not able to tap into the on looked at unless there is a way to do it, and I just don't know what that way is. I don't know. But it is not in it's not in collectible behaviors, it's not in block behaviors, it's not in block entity behaviors. It seems like it only exists in block. So I can't really, without doing like harmony patching, I can't really tap into these to be able to, you know, to be able to add it to where if you meditate and look at one of these, then it grants you like 10 maximum mana or something. Unless someone else knows how to do that. I do not. I can still put that in my blocks, my custom blocks, but I also feel like that's kind of cheap. You know what I mean? So what, like every one of my blocks you'll be able to meditate and look at? Kind of lame. This area is getting kind of busy. Busy with ideas. A lot of hard work went into this. Oh, I gotta start coming up with more rituals too. One thing at a time, Vice. One thing at a time. So, yeah, I guess think about it, Vexus. You know, let me know what you think. But I do think the old grimoire system is not going away. I think I just need to find a way to enhance your RNG for things. I gotta find a clever way of doing that. Or maybe you don't really have RNG. You know, let's think about it. The reason why I put RNG originally was because you permanently learned a spell, right? So if I learned the fly spell, which is a fantastic spell, I could just mass produce it, you know, and make it over and over and over. So I had to have RNG in there to make it to where you weren't guaranteed an awesome spell every time. Sometimes you can get a really awesome spell. Sometimes, you know, it took a dump on your heart. You know what I mean? But if I'm getting rid of that and I end up somehow getting like the fly spell because I was lucky, I put the right thing down, right? Like, oh, look at that. I put the bird down and it saw it, and I had a 20% chance of discovering that spell amongst all the others, and I discovered it, right? And it consumed whatever it did, and I got the spell. Hooray. I mean, at that point, that spell cipher is really valuable. And then I could throw that in to synthesis. Now, does it really need to be RNG? Probably not anymore, right? I could just say like, yep, it's a base cost of 200 mana. This is what it is. Don't break your grimoire, or you'll regret it. Right? Like that's kind of, but then at that point, like, why wouldn't I just give you the grimoire right here, right? You know, bam, you got the grimoire of fly. Like, is the Oculus even needed? It's a cool system, but is it needed, you know? You know what? I think it is needed. Because I want you to have a choice. When you get that fly spell, I want you to have a choice. Do you turn it into a grimoire right away? Or do you use it to, like, enchant whatever the pedestal is that I'm going to have to increase your chance of making that spell again for 3 charges? You know what I mean? So do you let it ride and burn up that that spell cipher to you know, to try and get more of the spell? You know, because I gotta have it be like, you know what? You have a 30% chance to find it, but you get 3 chances. That could be the RNG right there. So I could walk away with 3 more of those fly spells. Or I could have made a huge mistake, right? And I could get no fly spells because RNG slapped me. Maybe I break even and I, you know, I dodge a bullet. Because I definitely want that. And once you know, maybe once you turn it into a grimoire, maybe I can finally put in the dismantling system so you could tear that grimoire apart. And then, like, maybe get that page back. I don't know. I don't know. It's a lot of questions, right? I got a chance to do everything over right now. I don't want to just put the same old systems in. I want to make them better. Just a warning for everyone. I got about 10 more minutes to talk here. Till I got to go and be an adult. That is a really cool, like, I didn't even know that was, like, in the game. Are there any more? No. Oh, and I think people, some server owners are going to be happy because I'm not even doing anything with rusty gears anymore. You know, doing like the whole like temporal fragments that break down, or you could break a temporal gear down into temporal fragments, and like temporal fragments have been removed. They've I've got too much history with the temporal fragment. Too much history. It's gone. It's dead. Alright, I guess if I need to work on something, I could do some texturing. I definitely need to put some textures on here. You know what? Instead of texturing, let's think about when you're gonna be, like, how you're gonna acquire these runestones. Where on the tree? I think it should definitely take, maybe Eternal Ash. You know what? Let's do this. Maybe something like this, like it would take Eternal Ash from all 3 branches of magic here. Right? And then maybe like the chiseled with that. Maybe something like that. That way I can transform it. I can pop the gems into here, right? And then that would be like the basic. That way you don't have it immediately available when you first, you know, get your obelisk. You'll be able to put down the runes around, which is like your free upgrade to like help your efficiency. But you probably should branch out a little further before you can make the first one. So the second, let's see. Ooh, okay, okay. How about... I could put it right over here. Whoops. This would be the advanced, right? So it would take the reagents, which would be the next stage, because I need to make a third kind of reagent. You could tell me about them creatures you wanted me to make. I'll tell you the theme, right? Like, I mean, for the magic theme here, I'm not sure, because I mean, we could take this in two different directions, right? We can either say, you know what, there's gonna be... Oh, my music's being weird. Perfect. Right, we can either say each creature is like a specific elemental, which I do like, or we can say, you know what, there's like a light kind of creature. Maybe it flies and it's got, you know, it's got these, you know, these elements that it can be in, right? You know what I mean? And then maybe this one's like a, you know, maybe this one's like a demonic looking thing. You know what I mean? I could start slapping a mix of horror and fantastical shit. Yeah, I still have to think how I want, like what I want, because I know from here I probably want specific creatures, right? This is where that tendril coming up that we were talking about, that could be a monster from doing these kind of sacrifices. You know, maybe when you steal a soul, it has a chance of, you know, summoning a shambler or whatever I call them. You know, or like whatever the tentacle thing's going to be. Maybe over here, like you would call down some kind of astral thing. You know what I mean? Maybe it could be more rust monster right up the center here. I could draw up some quick concepts. Yeah, that'd be so awesome. I'm drawing as we speak. Yeah, I do have about 5 minutes until I have to go. I have to be responsible today. I have to be responsible. This much more responsible than I normally am. You know, this is about the time like either Oates or Bernardo comes in, or Fritz, maybe Fritz. It seems like those are the people that come in like right when I'm about to end stream. And then of course they say, oh yeah, Vice is running away. He's running. Maybe the last one could be about here. We didn't get our time together. Yeah. It was so little. I will be around tonight. I've been going to sleep early a couple of the nights. The past couple of nights. I do work remotely tomorrow, so I can stay up later tonight. Alright, you'll be up? Sweet. It'll be around, I'm thinking probably 7:50. Let's just say at 8 o'clock, maybe a little before 8 o'clock tonight that I'll be free. Some remote work finally. Yeah, I've been getting some remote days. It's been really nice. Really nice. I think this is coming together. I am so happy I decided to do another rewrite and like really gut everything and start from scratch, because this is so much more fun. This is gonna have so many more options. And the as soon as I'm done with, like, of course I have to add some recipes in still, but most of the blocks and the systems are already in. All I have to do is come up with the Spellforge system, and then just re-import the Oculus so you can make grimoires. And then this middle tree should be just about done. And then I can have a version of this for playtesting. if you know, if people want it. Maybe start up a server for it and then get feedback that way. And then what I would do is I would put on, like, in the beginning, like, I'm not going to feel rushed to have, like, you know, all of Lunar Magic in or all of Soul Magic. Because this essence still means something, right? You could still make this stuff, you could still make these blocks. You will be able to use this essence to make, like, the Light Grimoire, right? So, and that feeds into the center here, right? Same with the Darkness, right? You could still use this, do your Ritual of Corruption, you could still make your bigger crystals and everything up to here, right? And all your building blocks and everything, and then that could funnel into here to create your dark magic spells. You want me to be a magic user if we do a server together? Or okay with me being a hunter? Yeah, I mean, yeah, we do a server together, you could be a hunter, 100%. Because I would open up the server to, like, play, too. Like, it would be to, you know, I would want to test out magic, but it wouldn't be like everyone as admin. It would be like, we're going to play this. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm going to be a mage, I got to figure out how it feels. I think I told you this too, right? With mana caps are changing. So now, you'll have your regular mana experience that you would get from casting and stuff, and okay, yeah, I did, yeah. I guess for everyone else, right? So you would have your max mana from armor, and then you would have your max mana from meditation research as well, which is a fun system that I had put in. I think I had talked about it already. I've been all over the place. I'm all over. Yeah, and once this middle's in, then I can start. I think I'll be doing Lunar Magic first. That way I can put in the mana potion system, because that's like what the next branch is over here. Like, really, this should be extended down a lot further. But I want you to be able to distill the mana potions. You know, like I think what I want you to do is, like, put your mana into it, right? Like, you funnel your mana into it. And then it's like your mana bank, and then you can fill up your potions with it. I already have the potions made. I already have, like, the storage vessels and stuff, like, done. I just need to put the systems in, you know, and the ways to create them. And then once that's done, and I start doing some of the stuff with the, what am I going to call this? Moonwell? I don't think so. I'll call this something unique. The first sigil I want to make is the one where it calls down the meteors from the sky. That way you can get resources, like, around the area here. And then have a chance of start getting Moonstone for your mana potions. That's actually what this blank slot is. This is the mana distillery. I won't put it in yet, but... Ooh. Ooh. Oh, man. Yawning already. I've just been tired. I've been running again, so... Whoever says running is fun, they're lying. That, or they just got something seriously wrong with their mental psyche. I hate running. It's horrible. Kills me every time. Oh, there it is. I understand, phone. I'm being good. I shut down. Let's find someone to raid. Who do we got? Who do we got? Vintage Story. Let's see who's actually streaming. You got 3 choices. That's why so many people are here. Haha. Okay, food is acquired. You came back just in time, Quixote. Just in time. Oh, who should we raid? Oof. I actually don't know any of these people. Chores, I mean, that doesn't sound like too much fun. Let's play Vintage Story with your fave Chaos Gremlin. Ugh. All right. Wait, do they speak English? Hold on. Wait, everyone. Let me just.
Right at R.I.P. Drake in his entire career.
Okay. They do speak English. I mean, should we do them or should we do? I don't know. Anyone got a suggestion? It's not like I'll be able to stay and chat. Well, I'm kind of wondering what this person's chores are. You know what? We'll go with this one. Nope. Never mind. They are dropping frames like crazy. All right. Decision has been made. Faye Gremlin is going to be the person. Exclamation. / raid. Faye Gremlin. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for watching. We didn't get a lot of accomplished. I was hoping for more feedback and ideas before I start going down the hole of gutting a system, and then people like, what do you think, Advice? This isn't fun at all. Nanotech, thank you for the stream once again. My pleasure. My pleasure. I'm glad we were able to figure out that it's not our mods that are crashing the game. It's just a game crash. Or who knows? Maybe it is our mods and we're doing something the same. I don't know. But it's nice to know like it's not just me. Yeah, if you have any feedback, I mean, shoot me a Discord. I think what I was describing with like creating the specific grimoires for, you know, to be able to find certain types of spells, and I'm gonna probably spend some time tonight like separating out the spells and get them out of like invocation, enchantment, conjuration, alteration, right, out of that mindset and into like, these are light-based spells, these are dark-based spells, these are neutral-based spells, and then start pairing things off and seeing what I come up with. All right, everyone, thank you so much. I will talk to you all probably tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. I'll be live streaming a lot. All right, bye.